Political tension is high across the country, and Duluth leaders say the antidote is simple: show up, listen, and deliver. Northern News Now's Kyrie Johnson attended an event today where city officials gathered over lunch. The original topic was legislative priorities for the new year, but the conversation quickly broadened, with the mayor reminding the community that despite the divisions, working together is essential to the city's future.
City leaders spent the day gathering over a meal downtown to symbolize the importance of public service and discourse. They say despite heightened political tension, working together will be crucial for the success of the city's future.
Politics is kind of a thing right now. It's creating tension, it's creating anxiety, it's creating confusion.
It was a topic Mayor Roger Reinhardt spoke about at length Tuesday during the annual Duluth Area Chamber of Commerce's Let's Do Lunch event. It was clear that while discussing Duluth's legislative priorities was important, the events over the last week drove the conversation.
This is not an easy time for anyone. People are feeling things at a very deep level right now. We're living in a time of heightened civic tension.
While the speakers focused on nationwide concerns, city leaders also made it clear that local progress is crucial.
The most important thing local government can be doing right now is just delivering on those core basics, those things that every member of our community needs us to do.
Mayor Reinhardt touched on Duluth's housing crisis, aging infrastructure, and affordability concerns. And his plan to address those issues includes focusing on a healthy budget.
When we spread our resources too thin, everyone is unhappy. Staff is unhappy, the public is unhappy.
The speakers emphasized that there isn't always one clear path to success for a city full of diverse individuals, but continuing to participate in conversations is key.
This community has always known how to disagree thoughtfully while treating one another with respect. It might not feel like that in this moment, but we have a history of treating each other with respect.
We'll have more information about Mayor Reinhardt's outlook for the upcoming year on our website. In Duluth, Kyrie Johnson, Northern News Now.